How do you make peace with aging? I'm going to answer that question. Let's discuss that question. When I answer, let's discuss that question. How do I make peace? I think you think it's simple, but not easy. Definitely not easy. I think now at 47 years old, I feel more confident in myself as I move towards my 50s. But it's not always been that way. I think in my 20s and 30s, I've always wanted to look ahead, saying that how can I get myself up the ladder of life, if you like, upgrade myself, get more money, get the the handbags, the travel, the husband who makes a lot of money, and then I can marry, and then he can pay my stuff. And I think making peace with age is, I think as we get older, I mean, personally for me, as I got older, couldn't rely on my youth per se, and had to, and then realized that time is running out for my ovaries, for my I, ideals of what a successful and a happy life should look like. And so there was one point where I felt that there was guilt, there was resentment, you know, towards other people, towards circumstances, towards myself, blame, and just questioning why life didn't turn out the way I dreamed of when I was younger. And to be honest, when I was younger, I was a hopeless romantic, watched way too many Disney movies and believed in fairy tales. I'm optimistic, but now I've become more of a realist because I made some decisions being very blinded by this optimism. I think making peace is with aging is not really sticking our head in the sand and ignoring that it's happening, but educating ourselves in what will happen as we age, not just our physical body, but also emotional relationships, our finance as well, and our brain, what happens to our brain, our hormones, our skin, our identity. Because as we educate ourselves, then we know what we're dealing with. So I think that fear comes from not knowing. The fear comes from the uncertainty. And although, yes, even with our best intentions and efforts, things can still be unpredictable. Life is unpredictable. And we can never ever plan for everything. And we can't control other people. We can't control the world to bend to our will. But we can increase our reduce our risk and increase our chances of moving in the direction of where we want to go. Because at the end of the day, the only guarantee that we all have is death. That's the guarantee. And creating a lifestyle to support the woman that we want to be, or even becoming the woman to hold the lifestyle that we want, that journey getting there, that is really what matters. That is really, because as we're moving, we are making progress. Because when we're stuck, then that's where we, when we're stuck, we just feel hopeless because we feel that we have no other option, no other choice. But when we are making progress, just taking steps, even one step ahead, one step in front of each other, then we feel that we are in control of our ability because that is all we can control out the way what we do, how we feel, what we think, that is what we control, right? It's only ourselves. We can't control other people. But by us having that agency to choose, the choice to have options. So the ability to, I love this quote by James Clear. He was the author of, he is not author, was, he is the author of Atomic Habits. And he said, when you're, no, when you haven't found what you want, commit to less and experiment a lot. But once you found what you want, experiment less and have more commitment. Something like that. Okay, you get the gist. So basically, as you're exploring new things, new skin products, new supplements, new exercise routines, new career pivots, new hobbies. At the beginning, you got to experiment because you need to find out what you enjoy. And there is a time, or there is a period where, because growing up, I'm not sure about you, growing up, being preempting other people's emotion and looking at other people for external validation, but also direction and decision making. A lot of women, we stop listening to ourselves. Number one, we don't know, so we forget what we actually like, want. So my idea of success now is no longer what I want in the past. So there's a reason why I said that. Brain fog, and I realized that that's why I need to slow down to talk. Slow down to talk. Yes. So yes, that's right. So we need, so that there's this period of time where we are in a way negotiating. That's right. Negotiating what we want and who we want to be to who we were. So there's this gap really, who we want to be and who we were, and this is in the middle is who we are now. So as the beginning, as the gap increases, then you and us in the middle, you are, putting one leg on the side here and one leg on the side. So you're really stretched apart. So you're trying to find your balance. And so, because it's like almost you're jumping here, jumping here, jumping here, jumping here. And little by little, you progress to be moving towards the lifestyle that you want to be, who you want to be. So you're going in that direction. And the more you do that, then you're more stable, you're more steady in that path, and that path is strong, it's trojan, it's in our brains, it's in our bodies, it's like it's marked, if you like, it's marked already. So creating a new path, it takes time because it's uncertainty. You don't know where to step. You don't know, whether there are thorns, there are weeds, and the only way to do it is actually experimentation and actually doing it. And and as we are moving towards creating a lifestyle that supports the woman that we are becoming or we want to be, and that's where we become more discerning and finding out what we want. And and then you can decide, really, because people will talk. Whether you want to have cosmetic, fixing about whether you want cosmetic treatments or not to have cosmetic treatments is no one else's business. But we feel that we have to justify our decisions. So there's another thing is, you want, as a woman, if you want more choices and more options in life, you need to make sure you make your own money. Make your own money, make, keep, and grow your money. Okay, that's important because at the end of the day, no one else is going to look after us. If you're very lucky to have a very supportive husband who makes a lot of money, um, then good on you. But still, make your own money or learn about money because anything can happen. Partners can relationships can be broken, um, trust can be betrayed, or there's sudden death. And then I've heard so many stories of like divorce women, like they don't know what to do because it's like the husband or the partner dealt with everything and they are lost. So I feel that the more we prepare ourselves, then we know that, okay, I got nothing to worry about because I've got everything, all my ducks in a row. I got my insurance covered, and I know what I'm going to do if X, Y, and Z happen. So that is what I feel is making peace with growing older, not about the wrinkles and stuff like that. Yes, that is part of it because we feel that it reminds us, I think wrinkles reminds us that time is running out and we may not have, what's the word called? We might lose our value or we might have lost our chance or our time to create the life we want. But I love the Jane Fonda, she talks about life quarters. So every quarter is almost like you can reinvent yourself. You know, imagine you live in the 100 years old. Every quarter, you are reinventing yourself. So every quarter has different seasons, and you can completely reinvent yourself. And so, don't think that it's you are late. More of take all that wisdom and lessons that you learn from the past and then bring it onto the new season because you got so much wisdom in you and women and we learn so much. So as I'm moving to my 50s, I'm excited and I'm experimenting at the moment, experimenting the way I've expressed myself, what I do, what I want to do, as well in my work, in other industries I want to explore in. I am I nervous? Of course I am. I am. That's normal. If you're not nervous, then you know you're narcissist. Then I would say that you might be a narcissistic person, thinking that you could do everything. And yes, you know that hopeless optimism is also good, but as we know, things are don't always go according to plans. So I would say be optimistic, but be also a realist. And the more you create that foundation for risk, then the easier is it for you to experiment. Okay. So that's my take on making peace with aging. Yeah. What's your thoughts? Would love to hear how you are getting on or how you deal with getting older. What have you come to terms with? And what are you struggling to come to terms with? Let's discuss this.